Hi Ellen, lovely to meet you yesterday and start to do some work on your golf swing. Just a quick recap on the session that we did, and it's going to be a two-parter. I'll load the second part for you immediately after this. First of all, we were looking at the hand path. When viewed from down the line at the start of your session, the big concern was that the takeaway, the hands work up very quickly. So I put the line on there for hand plane and elbow plane. We can see that during the takeaway, what we're tending to do is get the hands to drift up onto elbow plane a little bit too quickly. Any player who does that tends to roll the club behind them because they're interested in getting the club behind them, but the hands, you can see, they're working out. So hands up and out at the start of the session, getting you onto elbow plane a little bit too quickly. Everything then starts to collapse a little bit at the top and get a little bit narrow, because when viewed from face on, one of the things we were doing is from a pretty good setup position, hands were working out too much. That gets the left shoulder working too level in the backswing, and you can see there as the left shoulder works level and the hands work out, the upper centre starts to translate back. There's a little bit too much retention of forward flexion at that point, and whenever the left shoulder doesn't work down enough, whenever the player doesn't extend enough, he's going to both move off and struggle to get any length on the left arm in the backswing. So as a result, everything folds in and we get a little bit narrow at the top. From there, we're going to stay in that position that's a little bit too far back. We're sensing that we're too far back at this point. The left arm and the right arm have started to expand a little bit too early to try and regain the swing radius. And as a result, we have a release point that's a little bit too far behind the ball and a tendency to divide the elbows through impact to prevent the club digging in the ground. Whenever we divide the elbows through impact, the swing plane is shifted to the left. We're going to find it very hard to hit out at the golf ball for long enough to hit a draw. So the key changes we made during the session are, first of all, from down the line, we want the hands to work in much more. So put the same lines on here again for hand plane and elbow plane. We're going to see here now that the hands work in much more than they did before. On reflection, I would also, to help you with this, have you standing just a little bit further from the ball. Try and feel like your hands are a little bit more under your chin, just to make it easier to get the hand path working in. Hands in. Now the club does roll behind you there, and I think that's something that we're going to have to work on in your next session. For now, I'm not too bothered about that, simply because we're getting the hand path much better, and that was my main concern. We're now going to go from hand path onto elbow plane. We're a little bit short on that one. This was one of the earlier shots that you did where you'd not really had the confidence to get the hands in and extend further. Hands are in more. As a result, you can get the club coming from the inside a little bit easier and hit out at the golf ball a little bit more on the way through. Slightly higher exit, resulting in higher shots that started to the right and we're trying to draw back. The other change that we've suggested here is we've put a cane down the left hand side of your head. Put the red line on so it's the same as your other footage. Now what we've got to do is apply no pressure to that cane on the way back. You can see the left shoulder working down more there. During the takeaway, we just play this one back. Left shoulder working a little bit more down. You can see now you stop extending and start to drift off. Here you're going to continue to extend. Much more stacked position at the top. And what we see here, not quite as much softening of the arms in the completion of your backswing. Moving further back during the downswing. Here, because we don't want to apply any pressure to the cane, we're going to keep moving forward for longer, allowing us to just have the arms a touch straighter in the through swing, because the radius of the swing has not expanded quite as much and the upper centre hasn't translated back at any point. So we've got to stabilise the upper centre. Finish position, very similar. We are trying to keep the arms straighter on the right hand footage, just to emphasise the movement of the body during the downswing and control the rate at which the club face closes during the through swing. So key points from this session so far are: get the hands working in and keep the upper centre stable, so we're not moving off it. We're going to continue to extend in the backswing and then continue to move forward in the downswing. As I said, good luck with it. I can't wait to meet with you again on the 12th of February and do some further work on your swing. Well done, and the next part will follow.